Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I just randomly decided that I would film my brow routine for you. I don't know why I decided to film this one. It wasn't even on my list of videos to film, but here we are. In all honesty, I've highly disliked my brows for quite a long time now. They're that one thing that I feel like I can never get right. Back in the day when I was maybe 15 or something like that, I had really decent brows. The shape was really good, they were full-ish, not super full, but full enough that I didn't have to do all that much with them. Now I feel like they're totally out of control. They're just like on their own little universe doing whatever they want. So I've been testing a lot of products for quite a while now to really try and find a brow routine that makes me feel like I've nailed my brows. So I'm going to shut up now and let's get into my brow routine. How crazy do I look without eyebrows right now? Holy moly, this is so weird having a full face minus brows. That is so odd. I just can't stop looking at myself. I just can't deal. Well, you're very zoomed in right now, and hopefully that's close enough to see all the action. First things first, I'm going to lay my brows down. I'm going to set them in place with this Perfect Brow Perfection Gel. I really love this because it's like super duper hold. It's really good. And it's clear. So I basically brush my brows upwards and upwards on a bit of an angle at this point. I like to do this first because then I feel like you can really see what you're working with, which on the end of my brows is not very much, but then the center of my brows aren't so bad. This Mecca Cosmetica double-ended brow brush slash spoolie is my best friend when it comes to doing brows. First of all, I use the spoolie end to just make sure there's no gel kind of left over or clumping up. I then go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. I use the shade Blonde. And I use the angled brush end of the Mecca Cosmetica brow brush. And I just get the tiniest bit of product on the brush and then get rid of a little bit on the back of my hand. I then start going in and making kind of like brow strokes with the brush, just really lightly feathering it up. Every time, the first time I start, I always get too much there. Every damn time. But that's okay, because then we go in with the spoolie and we can brush the brows down and then brush them back up. I like my brows to look fairly natural. I don't really like a completely filled in blocky kind of brow. So I try to keep mine looking as naturally luscious as possible. Also, I completely agree right now if you're thinking that brows are such a process, because they are. Brows are seriously one of the things that take the longest out of my makeup every single day. When it comes to about here, I feel like I need a little bit more structure. So I start creating a bit more of a backbone for the brow, if that makes sense. I line it up a bit more. So the strokes are a little longer and there's less like flicking of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. And then I curve it round and just do really light strokes towards the end because I like the end to really taper into nothing. I then start about here, which is roughly in line where I started on the bottom, and I start creating a bit of structure there too. And then I go back through and brush everything upwards. This just also helps to make sure that the pomade is spreading through nicely and not clumping in any particular area. Also, brushing your brows in the middle of this also helps you to see where there's any gaps that might need filling. And now I'm just going back in to fill in the kind of inner brow section. I like to keep this bit looking a little bit wild. I also think that brushing your brows up actually makes your eyes look more open, particularly if you have that kind of hooded eye shape like I do. I think it really helps open up the eyes. Sometimes I find that the product will sit a little bit heavier in some places and not others. I'm assuming because of hair interruption. So sometimes I actually like to flick my brush onto the brow in the opposite direction to what the brow hairs actually go. And I just find that this actually hits all the spots that it might miss the other way. But then I always go back and brush them up really quickly. I also have the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil in the shade Blonde, which I find really helpful for little pieces like that that might need filling in as well. And because the two brow products are different colours, I find that it gives a really natural brow colour as well. Just by having that slight change of colour. I then go back in with the Perfect Brow Gel and set it all in place once more. I brush my brows upwards with the gel and then come in with my spoolie and just give them a little bit of an angle. If I really take my time doing this, I often don't need to wipe my brow or fix it up with any concealer. But if I do rush my brows, I will often have to clean them up afterwards. And in that case, I will use the Zoeva 317 Wing Liner Brush and a tiny little bit of concealer. Usually just a liquid concealer like the Maybelline Fit Me or the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. And I just really carefully clean up around the brow. Look what a huge difference that makes. I still cannot get over me not having a brow on one side. It looks ridiculous. I thought I'd do my other brow off camera just so I can keep this tutorial nice and short because my last few videos have been pretty damn long, like close to 20 minutes. So I thought I'd keep this one nice and short. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my brow tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you very soon in another video.